Hi, my name is Jessica Zamolik. I'm going to give y'all a speech on pediatric strokes and a drastic brain surgery called a hemispherectomy. Strokes are the number 5 cause of death in the United States. Strokes occur when the brain does not receive the blood supply it needs. This happens because there is either a clot blocking the blood flow or because a vessel in the brain has ruptured. Most people tend to think of elderly people when they hear the word stroke. However, did you know that anyone can suffer from a stroke at any time in their life? Even unborn babies have strokes. Strokes are actually one of the top 10 causes of death in children. Strokes are as common in children as brain tumors are. Children who suffer from a stroke also encounter other lifelong disabilities such as epilepsy, hemiparalysis, speech delays or no speech at all, as well as vision impairments. Epilepsy is a tendency of reoccurring seizures. Seizures can present themselves in many different ways. There are the grand mal seizures where the child falls out in severe convulsions. There is also a type of seizure called infantile spasms. This type of seizure presents itself in mild jerking spells, but don't let this fool you. These are the worst types of seizures to ever have because each jerk is considered its own seizure and each one causes more damage to the brain. Also, in 99% of the patients that suffer from infantile spasms and get control of them with medicine, later on end up suffering from another type of seizure in their life. Children who have suffered from a stroke also have hemiparalysis, which means that they are weak on one side of their body. If the stroke occurs on the right hemisphere of the brain, then the left side of the body is the weak side, and vice versa. These children need physical, occupational, and speech therapies for the most part of their life. The earlier you learn about the stroke and start therapy, the better quality of life they will have. My daughter suffered anywhere between 200 and 300 infantile spasms a day as a result of her stroke. When medication failed to give her the relief she needed, we were referred to the hospital's neurosurgeon team and she became a candidate for a drastic brain surgery called a hemispherectomy. This means they would go in and remove the entire side of the brain where the stroke occurred. Her stroke occurred on the left hemisphere of her brain and was such a severe stroke it damaged the majority of the hemisphere. She was 4 months old when we discovered her diagnosis. She started having jerking spells for infantile spasms and only used her left hand. The doctors told us they could not say whether she would ever walk, talk, or run. They could not give us any insight on what her quality of life would be. However, did you know that a child could live an almost completely normal life with only half their brain? The healthy hemisphere can take over and compensate for what the damaged or missing hemisphere can't do. There are many support groups out there for parents and children going through diagnosis. Out of all of these options, I found CHASA to be one of my favorites. CHASA stands for Children's Hemiplegia and Stroke Association. CHASA is an awareness website that gives families the opportunity to relate with one another with online discussions where you can share advice and information benefiting your child. CHASA also provides educational information and can even provide financial support where needed through educational and athletic scholarships as well as other programs. Another support group that reached out to our family and was extremely supportive and helpful was the Hemispherectomy Foundation. This group offers many different types of support for families who are facing the drastic and scary brain surgery. Although my daughter did not have the surgery, this group still offered our family tons of advice and support. When my daughter was diagnosed, I was in complete and utter shock. I hate to admit that I had never heard of a child, let alone an unborn baby, suffering from a stroke. And to this day, I'm still finding out little things in life that we take for granted because they come so easy to us, almost naturally. and yet they are a huge, amazing accomplishment to my little girl. She touches everyone's heart that she comes in contact with. Her beautiful smile is contagious, and she has kept that smile on her face through every little bit of her long, wild journey. Even after a seizure spell at 4 months old, she looked up at my face and gave me her smile. The brain is an amazing organ and does amazing things. This stroke does not define my daughter. She is making her own way and is excelling at everything life is throwing her way. Our stroke babies are amazing and will do amazing things.